Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2005 Pontiac Montana SV6. Up front is a 3.5 liter V6, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Montana SV6 because this isn't the standard Montana SV6. I have reviewed a normal, actually really well-kept example one here on the channel, but this one is going to be all about the modification. This van was built by North Naperville Autos to provide mobile detailing services. And so today we're going to be diving into not only the car, we'll still big friggin' bottle test and talk about Pontiac and all those great GM things, but we'll also be taking a look at how this has been transformed into a purpose-built detailing machine. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackbradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. And last but not least, of course, thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me borrow their detail van for today's video. More on them towards the end. But if you would like a mobile detail, you can scan the QR code up on the screen now. And I think you should, because this thing will pull up to your house and it'll be sick. But let's start with the modifications. I know we're gonna kind of do this video backwards than my traditional reviews. Well, let's hop into the back to talk about what makes this special. All right, we're starting off with this back part because this is probably why you clicked on the video. You wanted to say, hey, what the heck is going on with this Pontiac Montana SV6? So let me show you. Starting off behind the driver's seat, we have plenty to love. First of all, this is a 75-gallon water jug. So this will be plenty of water for a detail, or actually probably a few. And this is strapped down to a custom-built table for the back. We have a couple other things. This is a power washer. We do have a gas generator over there that actually vents outside of that door. And we have an air compressor right here. So this is the basic layout. This is a little bit behind the curtain, behind the Wizard of Oz control room, kind of looking at what makes this stuff run. This is very functional. This is very useful, and you need something like this if you're going to do mobile detailing, because you're not relying on their water access. So very, very cool there. It is a power door as well, so very nice to see that it retains that. Coming around the back here, we do have our handle to lift this up, and this is where you're going to be operating the most. So we have all of the tools and sprays and shines all mounted to this plywood, painted white, of course. These are some screwed in baskets and whatnot. You have all your different brushes, and then these are some of the sprayers that will go onto the air. So this is coming from the air compressor. As you can see, it runs through there. Very cool for that. And then this is our spray gun. So this is the power washer that we talked about, again, fed through this back wall. Come out here, attach a nozzle, and start spraying and cleaning. These are some shelves that are, again, bolted into this big wooden shelf, and these are tire shines and professional sprayers and different cleaners for carpet and things like that. We have some more shines and polishes off to the right, again, all screwed into pretty much the factory equipment. This, also funny enough, does have an air compressor built in from Pontiac, from the factory. Now, it's not nearly enough to offer the sprayer and things like that for professional detailing, but it is funny that technically there are 2 air compressors on board, and this SV6 actually has a rear air suspension from the factory. That does not change here for the detailing mobile. So, very, very cool. This is what's in the back of the SV6 Montana, built just for automotive detailing. So wonder no more. Very, very cool to see all of this. Let's get back to that 3.5 liter V6. This was kind of a bread and butter engine for Pontiac during this era. We also got it in vehicles. It was a sort of replacement for the 3100 that came in the 90s, of course, as they naturally got bigger and bigger and bigger. And Pontiac would even later offer a 3.9 liter V6 in some of their vehicles, like the Pontiac G6. It's fine. It does the job. job. I don't have any complaints, but it's also not a showstopper. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Again, not a showstopper. It's fine, and it does the job. Last but not least, the Montana SV6 is front-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the SV6 Montana detailing van? Well, it drives like the normal van. It's not anything too crazy. There's not a whole lot of extra added weight, or at least not more weight than you would have if the van was full of kids. I know 75 gallons of water is going to be really heavy, but it doesn't affect the ride that much. Visibility is pretty good, although you do lose any visibility out the rear due to the wall installed. It kind of hurts that a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's okay. With that stuff out of the way, let's do a quick run through of the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is my fuel and speedometer, and off to the right is my tachometer and coolant temperature. The steering wheel does have skip track, volume, band, and favorites, as well as mute on it. This is a more modern steering wheel than I always associate the Pontiac Montana to have. And off to the left, we do have our climate vent, headlight switches, and gauge dimmer switches. And moving on to the door, we have power mirrors, power locks, and power windows, very reminiscent of the end days of Pontiac. Moving into the center, we get 3 climate control vents. We have some information buttons, as well as our traction control and hazard switch. We do have an aftermarket radio to keep up with modern tech. Our climate controls for fan speed off to the left, temperature in the center, and where to send it off to the right. We do have pop-out cup holders as well, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Montana SV6, and as we learned from the normal non-modified, it also fails the big friggin' bottle test. Even with the liners removed, I do want to note, I always have people comment that, oh, you can remove the liners. Yes, you can, and even with them removed, it still fails. We get a little storage cubby down below, no center console in the seats. The seats are cloth. They're nothing special, but they work, and that's all I need them to do. However, we already talked about what happened to the back seats. We'll talk about the looks real quick. This has been painted white, and the windows have been vinyl wrapped. This was originally a dark blue van, or sort of a royal blue almost. And I like the look of the Montana SV6. Obviously, this has been changed a little bit, and it does have aftermarket wheels on it, so just something to note. Now let's get on to our final thoughts. What do I think driving this detail van? Well, first of all, this is really cool. I got a bunch of questions because every time I work with North Naperville Autos, they see this in the intro and outro video. So I wanted to drive it, and I wanted to share that they do offer these services, and this is what's gonna roll up to your house. It's a really cool and really ingenious way of providing mobile detailing services, and this didn't cost a whole lot. You can do this. You with your old Honda Odyssey. You with your old Toyota Sienna. You with your old Pontiac Transport. That's what I kind of wanted to put across, is that this is something that you can do in an entrepreneurial way to earn money. Growing up, there's 3 phases that a car enthusiast will go through. The first phase is a photographer. Every car person wants to be a photographer. They take one sunset photo of their B18 swapped Civic, and then they think they're Ansel Adams behind the screen. And to be fair, that was me. And I stuck with that and moved on with my life. Some would say I'm still stuck in that era. The second era of a car enthusiast, everyone, once the photography video thing doesn't really pan out, every car kid wants to be an automotive detailer. We're good at it. It's something we like to do, and we get to spend time with cars. We get to learn about cars intimately. So a lot of kids I knew tried the whole detailing thing. And that's something that's easily achievable. Like with a vehicle like this, it doesn't take a whole lot to actually make a business out of an older vehicle. Now, for those curious, the third and final iteration of the car kid would be a hotshotter or transport driver, driving a truck, driving an F-150 with a trailer behind it, that sort of thing. Just for argument's sake. But this is an easily achievable thing. And so that was the biggest draw to this review, is that I wanted to share that this is a possibility. If you're watching this and you're 17, 18, 19 years old, you're not sure what you want to do with your life, but you love cars, this is something you can do. Buy a power washer, buy an old minivan, buy some rags, and buy some brushes. You can do it, and I hope this video gives you ideas and examples. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're jotting some things down. This Pontiac Montana SV6 was a great chassis for it. They're really affordable. Pontiac is no longer around, as we well know. So buying one of these vans and stripping it out didn't cost a whole lot of money. And it's a pretty solid platform. The 3.5 liter and the 4-speed, although they're not zingers off the line, they're good, they work, they function, and they get the van around where it needs to be. Overall, I really just wanted to show this van off and maybe expand the mind a little bit. And if you're not jotting any notes down, if you're not interested in becoming a detailer yourself, no worries. If you have a car and it needs to be cleaned, let North Naperville Autos know. They come to you, they offer really, really good pricing, they make it super easy, and you'll have a Pontiac Montana show up. I think that's pretty neat. Huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me borrow their van for today's video and showing it off to you. I've reviewed so many cars from North Naperville Autos. They are absolutely wonderful. And if you have any questions or want your vehicle detailed, please let them know with the information found in the description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.